Okay, greetings everybody. Today is the 16th of September 2018, and we are meeting with all the points of contact that can make it for this update session. Dean, if you want to record as well, because you know how to upload these things to YouTube afterwards, and I don't, so it tends to get stuck in my download file and then I never do anything with it. So Dean, if you want to record as well, that would be really nice. Thank you. So we are here to give each other our updates on what we've been up to since the last time we met. And let me open up the agenda and see who's first on the list.
Could I go first, Sue?
Oh, yes, sorry, Painman, we had promised you could. Go ahead. Painman from Sweden's going to tell us his news. Because he's got the baby.
I got the baby, and the baby wakes up all the time, so I'm going to go quick here. So I've been doing a lot of meetups, almost once a week this summer. And it's been a lot of fun, and I get around maybe 5 to 10 people that come every time, talk about many different topics. But the real great news is that we got contacted by somebody holding a TEDx, and their topic is change, and they invited us to come and talk about it. Talk about the Venus Project. And what's even greater news, I don't know if you guys heard, but Roxanne, they contacted Roxanne directly, which I was thinking about doing after this meetup, this monthly meetup, and she has agreed to come to Sweden and do the TEDx. So I thought that was great. And they still gave me opportunity to also speak. So I'm gonna talk to her and see what her plan is. And I was thinking about meeting her and like helping her in any way I can when she arrives. And this is gonna be in I think January. They haven't really set a date yet. So that's the great news.
That is wonderful news. Absolutely fabulous. A TEDx talk from Roxanne will be very interesting. We were talking about it the other day. She's got 18 minutes. They give you 18 minutes to pack it all in, and you've got to learn it by memory. So I said, you've got to start practicing now.
Did they tell her that she gets 18 minutes?
It's standard.
Do you know that?
It's standard. As far as I know, nobody else is allowed anything else. That you get 18 minutes.
Yeah, but yeah, this event, when I was talking to him, I said I need more because they had put a limit on 10 minutes, and I wanted to extend it, and he said they can't do that. So I don't know if they have made an for her that she can talk 18 minutes. But she should talk to him, the person in charge, or is it Philip? Do you know if it's Philip that has contacted her?
Which Philip?
This guy that contacted me here in Sweden. His name is Philip for the TEDx. So whoever she have contact with, if she can get them to give her 18 minutes, because 10 minutes it's so short to talk about this subject. So if she can get more minutes, that would be great.
And to go all that way just to talk for 10 minutes is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I think that's why I was hesitant of thinking that she would come, because 10 minutes, it's so little time to talk about this subject.
Well, it'd be wonderful. It'd be wonderful. But even if it's only 10 minutes, but for sure they'll give it. If they're going to bring her over and let her talk, for sure she'll be able to do more than 10.
Well,
hi, Michael from Sweden, by the way. Just seen you came in.
Yeah, hi guys.
Michael, I just did the Sweden presentation because I got the baby and he wakes up all the time. I just talked about the meetups and the TEDx. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, I heard that there's gonna be 100 seats where Roxanne does the presentation, and then digital live presentation in a room beside it.
Okay, great.
So the guy is reserving 10 seats at least for TVP guys in Sweden. And it's gonna cost 150 Swedish kronor, which is about $15 or 15 euros.
They're going to need a lot of sponsors then.
A lot of sponsors for TVP, or what do you mean?
For the TEDx event. Because the one that I did, they had sponsors to pay for all of this.
Okay.
To pay for the venue and so on, so that it was a nice venue and everything.
And there isn't a TED organization that sponsors it. They have to sponsor themselves.
They have to find sponsors themselves, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. And can I ask you something, Sue? Because you did it. Are you not allowed to market the Venus project? You just talk about, because this topic is about change, and the way I understood it, you're not supposed to talk about the Venus project. Is that correct? Did you get those instructions?
You can't. You have to be very careful so that you're not doing publicity, as it were. I mean, I did manage to mention Jack Fresco, but you have to be very careful so that it doesn't sound like you're promoting a product as such. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And also you have to use original images, which some of the people in the one that I did, they didn't. They just took images from Google, which I thought was very lazy. What else? I don't know if some of them might be a little bit more relaxed and get away with it, but there was a woman who came from the TED organization, because TEDx is like a franchising for TED. So there was a woman who came from TED. She was the coordinator for the European talks, events, and she was there to make sure that we did everything by the book. So, but they should give you anyway, a whole sort of like booklet thing with the information about what you can do, what you can't do. They give you tips on how to prepare your talk, to practice, to this, that, and the other. And if you've got any doubts, then you just consult with them. Some of the things might have been changed since I did it, because it was like, I don't know, I think about 6 years ago now. So some of the things might have changed. On the other hand, some things I think will be very much the same. So let us know anyway, because it's always interesting if anybody else gets the chance to do a TEDx talk. Okay, should we pass on?
One question. If I
Sure.
want to contact Roxanne, is it via mail? That's the best?
Yeah, or I'll send her a message and ask her to contact you, because she's in the POC chat, but if you haven't got her as a contact, you probably wouldn't be able to send her a message. You'd have to ask her to add you. So if
Ask her. Ask her to add me on Skype. I think that would be the easiest.
Okay.
Sue,
Yeah.
that reminds me, I can't seem to add Roxanne to the New York Facebook page that I run, or Instant Messenger at all. I don't know why.
The page or the group? Because you've got a group, have you not, for New York?
Yeah, I'm in a group. Yeah.
I don't know. Dean is the expert on that.
I don't know. Julio, add me to the group, and if I'm not already, and make me an admin, I'll see if I can add her. But I know I've been having problems with other groups too, and making people admin. There's probably 4 or 5 groups that I'm currently having issues with, where I can't make like Sazo, Sue, Roxanne admin. I can only give them like posting privileges. That's about it.
Yeah, I think I got you in there already. I'm gonna double check. I wanted to put all the admins in because it was, it was recommended, but the only one I think I couldn't get on was Roxanne.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Roger that.
Okay, so moving on. We've got a message from Greece, from Tassos. He's not here, so I'll read it out. Pangea, which is the organization, the non-profit that they have for the Venus Project in Greece, has finally a new home, a place for our offices, and we are in the process to fix and organize this new place and our actions for the next period. This place gives us better opportunities to more efficient communications and presentations. We will keep you informed with photos and other stuff. Well, that's nice for them because they had a huge amount of problems. It all fell apart for a while, so I'm happy to hear that they're getting back together again and that they have an office. That's wonderful. Amar, give us some news from Iraq for those that weren't with us in the hangout that we had just now.
Well, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, for Iraq, you know, I since the last 8 months I was in Russia, but I was of course communicating with my team in Baghdad, and after 3 months of being in Russia, I was surprised that my team have new concepts about you know, being organized or something like that, and they decided to make a separate team that will have some special ideas about being national Iraqi or something like that, and they decided to make a different and another maybe Facebook page and another contacts like official contacts for the team or something. So I communicated then with Dean, and for now we just, I mean, the global team has just stopped the team in Baghdad, and for me, I'm still like the POC of Iraq. I'm working on the Facebook page, translating some images, some videos.
We lost you,
I'm
Amar.
posting on Facebook page, communicate. I hope. Do you hear me now again?
You're breaking up a little bit. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, we have now a new kind of new plan. I communicated with you guys and with the activism team, or what should we call the admins of the activism team, and we maybe in the next maybe weeks or next month, we will try to figure out some new. I mean, maybe we will make a new page, or we will just change the name of the page to and some more details that we will work on it. So I guess we will just make a relief to the team in Iraq and maybe in other Arabic countries.
Okay, a new start, a new page in the adventure of TVP Support in Iraq.
Well,
Okay.
maybe.
Moving on, we have a new point of contact. Normally we present them all at the after the information updates, but seeing as there is an update from Israel, I'd like you all to welcome Alex, who is the first of 3 candidates that have completed the orientation process. He's the first one to actually fully move along the bus. So Alex, welcome, and give us your news from Israel.
Thank you, Sue. Yeah, so we have 2 more POCs coming very soon. And in the meantime, we already, like, for years we have a group of people working on TVP. Even before there was like a process of certifying a point of contacts and stuff like that. And now we're joining the family more officially. So, hooray! We already have like a following of about 20,000 people on Facebook, and events in Tel Aviv area, but all over Israel we have events, but mostly in Tel Aviv area. And so I'm currently traveling away from Israel. I'm in the US for almost a year now. So, but I participate in what I can in Israel. I also assist with the AEC project, the planning and design of a new campus for TVP. I'm in charge of the research and development team there, and so if you have any questions about what's going on there, feel free to shoot, and I can tell from what I know.
Okay, thank you. Perhaps next month we should be having Elad and Mark as well joining us with news from Israel.
Soon.
Welcome to Gil, by the way, from Brazil. I didn't see you come in.
Boy,
Fede, what's up? Fede from Italy, come ahead and tell us your news from Italy.
Maybe there is Julio who wants to say something. Julio?
I just wanted to mention something to Sue really quick, since before I forget. Was there any new POCs in the program for New York?
No. The guys that emailed didn't finish the quizzes. One didn't start the quizzes. Never heard back from them. We sent out a reminder email to let them know that we were wanting to start a new edition. No, and we don't run after people. They have to want to do this. They have to run a little bit themselves, because if we run after them, it's not a good precedent. You know, we can't be running after people. They have to put their foot forward and make the effort.
I understand. Thank you. I wasn't aware. I thought they were actually in the program.
No, unfortunately not. And it would be nice for you to have help. I know. One day it will come. Don't worry.
Okay, I can go with Italy update.
Sure.
Right? Okay, nothing's really new here. We are continuing with our routines, social network, imaging, and so on. But because we are more focusing on the best money can buy, we complete the review. But I noticed that some string missed from the 8th edition, so we will give another quick review. But I think that we will start with the final review soon. So that's the update from here. Basically.
Oh, that's great news. Another language for the book. That's marvelous. Great news. Isai from Mexico. Ándale, ándale.
What was the name of that cartoon?
Go ahead and give us
Anyway.
your news, Isai.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, that one. You watched too much.
Go ahead and give us your news, Isai.
So I wrote it in the agenda. First, I've been continuing to appear on the radio about, well, only 2 times for now, I think. I'm going like there once every 2 weeks. Although these last weeks, I didn't went because there were a lot of other things happening around me. I didn't have the time to arrange appearance there with the person. But it's been a very fun experience going to the radio and meeting the show host well, I guess host with the name. He's a very cool person, and he is very supportive of any new project that wants to get off the ground. Anyway, other things that have been happening, that in August 21, August 21, one of the team members of or I consider it already a team because he's doing so much already. This person named Jorge Esparza from Aguascalientes, a state called Aguascalientes. He organized a meeting in his home where many of his co-workers and even some family members like her sister went, and he presented the Venus project. I made a short video of myself presenting myself as a POC and what I do, what TVP Support does, and what it means to be for us a volunteer, kind of like that. And then it was very interesting experience for him and for me to see someone else trying to do this. We both learned a lot, I think. He made something I never thought of doing, which was making a program of the things you were going to do and sharing it publicly. Like for the first hour, we're gonna watch a documentary, and then the next hour we're gonna watch like a video of me, and that kind of setup had it set up like that. And he found, and I saw from his work that really worked much better, because if it was all because people knew what they were getting into, he said, and that's something I didn't consider. But it may be for everybody here, it will be interesting to take note of that and do the same. Well, and just saying, it was a very important experience for him as well, because he learned a lot about how to speak with people, and he had some discussion with the person, kind of like a question and answer session. But he wasn't, he expressed that he was just a volunteer and not a POC, and what he said didn't represent the Venus Project views. That's a very important thing to for us to say, even us POCs sometimes. Anyway, I think I spent too much talking. I talk too much, I think. Anyway, the if you watch the, if you see the document and the agenda, you can see some pictures of this meeting that this person had. I share a link. You may be able to see them. I don't know. If not, maybe I can share them in Skype.
I can see them.
September 15th, which was just yesterday, I guess, to present the Venus Project in a group that's starting a new business about giving people land to start sustainable housing. It's called PATMEX. Let me write it. And it was offering those possibilities for people. And going there for me, it wasn't for me or for the Venus Project exactly, but they liked the idea. This person that invited me heard about me on the radio, and I guess she liked what I spoke about, and and wanted to have me in there to present these ideas. I don't know. I'm not really sure how that came about, but it just happened. So what I did, I wanted to have things to show, like graphically, a visual aid to show, but I didn't have anything like models or anything. So what I did is I used my, I guess, artistic skills a little and made some I wanted to make more, but I didn't have the time. I just had a week to do all of this. I made a few drawings colored of TVP cities and the buildings and construction of the houses. But since I didn't have the time, I went out and printed some colored images of the technology of the Venus Project. and the concepts of sustainable houses and all that. And that really helped me, because if I didn't went with something visual, I don't think people would have been as interested, or I couldn't really be able to communicate anything. So from that, a lot of interesting contacts came. Someone who was working on has solar panels, a company for solar panels who was interested in the project, and something that Yushu and I may have to look into, a new person who told me she wanted to be a volunteer there in that place. She was interested. She said she wanted to become a volunteer. She told me she worked as an editor for books. So I told her, maybe you can help us to finish the book of The Best of Money Can Buy, to finish the translation. And she told me, yeah, I'd be glad to do that. And we only have to show her how to work on it. And also, I asked her if she may be able to help print the book in Spanish. She'll tell me she's quite capable of doing that, and she only needs permissions of the authors and things like that. And she has everything in order to edit and publish works of all kinds. And she says in the message I'm reading, she can get an ISBN, something like international, something for a writer, like a number, and the registry for the work in Mexico. So that's something you and I will need to look into, and maybe even with Roxanne. So it will be very good. Anyway,
For sure.
I don't want to go too much. I talk too much, I think.
For sure, that would be great. That would be absolutely marvelous. Well, we're meeting on Monday, so we can talk about it then. That would be lovely. Oh, imagine getting out in Spanish at last. Okay, thanks for that wonderful update. We're going to pass on to Russia, the Russian-speaking countries. Sasha, go ahead.
Is this working? Oh, does it work?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Hey, sorry I'm late. It's like 4:30 here. In the morning. Yeah, so we just had sorry I haven't been here in a little while. I was super busy in the summer hiking. But we had a couple of big festivals in the summer. Let me post the other link. I just posted one link. But yeah, the Geek Picnic, which I shared with you guys before, and then StarCon is another one. So that went well. A lot of activity, a lot more notice from people. Sorry, I'm kind of waking up. But yeah, everything's going well. We are continuing with translations. Our YouTube channel hit a quarter of a million people, so that's quite good. Our VK page is almost there as well, with a quarter of a million. So yeah, Mara might have to sleep and come back. You guys will be gone by then. Yeah, you know what else is really cool? I go off hiking every weekend, and every weekend I'm talking to people asking me like what I'm doing in Russia. So basically, my reply is that I came here because I haven't lived in Russia in so long, and because we joined the Russian-speaking Venus Project team. So then I talk to people about the Venus Project every weekend, and I've gotten some really good feedback from people that they've started watching Jacques' lectures, and you know, saw a documentary, saw this or that, and it's kind of cool.
Okay, thank you. Listen, Sasha, you don't have to come to this one if it's 4 o'clock in the morning for you. That's why we do the one at 2 UTC, alternating months, so that people who are on the time zones that aren't comfortable with 20 UTC, they can attend and not have to get up at God forbidden time in the morning.
Yeah, 2 UTC is a Sunday, so I'm off hiking. So I'm not home. So that time I absolutely can't make it. So right now I can make it because I'm home. And yeah.
And nobody else could come in your place?
No.
Okay. It seems such a shame you have to make such an effort. Anyway, thank you for doing so.
Yeah, no worries. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay, next on the list is myself from Spain. We haven't really got much to update on. We're still working out the ins and outs of the Spanish speakers social media team, but I personally have some news that I'll be going to Holland on the 9th of November to give a talk to this symposium. It's the other three speakers are rather, how shall we put it, spiritual, let's call it. There's a lady who sings to cure people. There's a gentleman who talks about things like acupuncture and meditation and stuff. And then there's a guy from Serbia who discovered the Serbian pyramids. So it's going to be a challenge. So I'm working out how to focus the talk to get through to them so that they're interested in listening. But it was an invitation. So it was actually an invitation for Roxanne, but she couldn't go, so she passed it on to me. So they must be interested if they've invited the Venus Project to go along. So pass along to Sweden's already been. Mick, nice. You've got something to tell us.
Yeah, we got a couple of newcomers, one in London, one in Manchester. The one in Manchester is Polish, but her English is quite good. And she's been to a couple of hangouts. The other guy, I've only had like a one-on-one hangout with him. He's not been to the Monday meetups yet in the UK. But yeah, it's nice to see people are interested. But other than that, there's not really much to report.
Have you had much contact with Tatiana?
Every now and again, I think she's busy with motherhood. But like, yeah, I asked her if she was coming, but I'm assuming the kids may still be apart. She's got something on. But yeah, she has been in touch, so yeah, she's cool.
Okay. As long as there's that communication there. Who's next? Hang on. Did I miss somebody out? Oh, I missed Romania. Romania, nothing new. The usual posts on Facebook page. I've been seeing Vasily's been posting on Facebook actually. You know those little tags that jump up and say so and so posted or so and so liked. I've been seeing those go up. Okay, who's next? Cliff. Is Clifton here from Georgia, USA? No, okay. His message is no new updates. He's having connection issues and he would join the meeting if possible. He's obviously not been able to. David from Illinois. David, you're here. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, nice to hear you.
Yeah, currently no new updates. Me personally, I've just been passing out books and stuff like that in literature, but there really hasn't been any updates to give up. Yeah, that's it.
Do you have much contact with Rashad?
Yeah, we got in contact like maybe a month ago. We did a video chat, but I don't think he's got much going on either as far as any updates. and I think he's still busy with a lot of schoolwork, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us anyway.
I think Clifton's up there now. Clifton, can you hear us?
Hey, Cliff, you made it.
Can
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I didn't have the new server name.
Yeah, we've had to come to the linguistic team server because the TVP one is down again. Not sure why that is, because it was updated not long ago. But anyway, thank goodness we've got this one. Yay, hooray!
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's something I didn't put on the forum, but I just thought of it. Is that all right?
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right. Julio and we've been going back to Venus every late February to March since the centennial, and we're going to be doing that again this coming year in February or March as well. I just wanted to tell everybody that in case you could make it down. We've been doing this a work party and get together for POCs, and we do work on the property, on the grounds, with helping Roxanne with whatever she needs. Usually it's cleaning the buildings, organizing stuff inside of them, landscaping, things like that. And then we get together and try to just talk and team build. So if anyone wants to do that this next year, just keep an eye out for some info, and we'll be announcing dates and things like that. Is there anything else, Julio, you want to put in?
Yeah, since we're on that subject, if anybody I'm going to be driving down there from New York, probably the same thing we did before to Georgia. If anybody is along the way, we can carpool or whatever. And also, it is a good time. We do to spend some socializing. We go out to eat, and we work hard if you want to at the center. And also, we have a little project that me and Clifton are going to be concentrating on while we're there, and that is improving the water quality of the guest house. I picked up some filters, some 5-stage water filters that I saw at a garage sale that were very expensive, but I got them at a good price, and I'm going to be bringing that down there, and we're going to be improving the water quality of the guest house.
Yeah.
If you can drive by Spain to pick me up, I'll put my name down for a free lift.
As soon as I get my flying car, I will definitely do that.
You got to ask Elon Musk about that.
Invite him along to the work party as well.
Did you see that interview with Elon Musk? That was interesting.
Yeah. Also, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just mentioned that I saw it too, and many interesting conversations for sure.
Yeah, they had a good conversation. This isn't TVP related, but they talked for a couple hours, 2.5 hours, about different existential problems in the world and technology, and then everybody just reported on him taking one puff of a joint the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy.
Just one last thing too. While we're there, we try to meet with Roxanne and just ask her questions and keep up with what's going on there too. So it's a good opportunity if anyone can go. I know a few people have shown interest in that.
And it really helps Roxanne, all the work that you do there to help upkeep the centre, because it's a huge thing and it costs so much if she has to pay for it, you know. And I imagine that there's still some things that need to be cleaned up after the hurricane, the storm last year. So it's wonderful that you're going to go again.
Yeah, one more thing. If anybody does go, and obviously if you're on a plane, you can't do this, but if you're driving from somewhere and you happen to have a used shovel or rake or something like that that you're not using, or you want to collect from someone, feel free to bring it down, because we cleaned up the shed very well, and we're going to be hanging up everything organized, and you know, every little tool counts, you know. So just wanted to throw that in there.
Let's have a Kickstarter for new tools for the center.
Actually, we're not too bad with the tools. It's got quite a bit of stuff there. It was just unorganized. We got it to a point that it was organized. So, but we will make a list now that we're going down there for something that is needed. But you know what, Sue? Now that you mentioned that Kickstarter, I brought this up before that maybe Roxanne can use not that she has to, because she can use the exercise to walk around the property, but an electric golf cart to get from one place to the other rather quickly if she needs to do something in urgency or get back quickly. Maybe we could start something like that, or find a used one and we can fix it up. That I was going to suggest.
Have a word with her to see if it's something that she would use, because I know she's using a bike and she enjoys using the bike because it makes her exercise. So have a word with her and see if she would like one of the little golf carts.
Okay. Yeah. Well, bike is good too. I was going to say maybe like a little trolley for the guests for the Saturday meetings. I mean, for the Saturday tours.
Okay, so let's move along. We've got Massachusetts. Evan, Wendy, and Nate are here. So who's going to be the one that's going to give us the updates?
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
I have no updates myself, but if Wendy or Nate does, go ahead.
All right, so I guess I'll go. So for this past month, I've been trying to do this online series where I talk about a bunch of different topics that I've been able to learn through the Venus Project, and I've been learning that we have all learned from Jock, and I called it a mechanist perspective. And I thought of doing that because although I can speak to people and try to get them to watch Jock's lectures or do research into the Venus Project, the likelihood of that happening due to how much life demands from you is not that likely. So I felt as if people are friends with me or they're interested in what I do and I do this sort of thing, then I can get them interested in the Venus Project even more, or look into some of the books that they recommend, which would further their interest in the Venus Project and Jock's lectures. So it's the least that I felt like I could do. If any of you have watched it or will watch it, then any feedback would be greatly appreciated. And in the descriptions, I believe Evan or another POC recommended that I start linking Jock's lectures and other TVP related materials in the description so that people can do further research on their own if they're interested. So that's about it for me. Apart from that, I've been trying to just go out to certain events in my city. Like last night, I was at a film festival that they threw where a portion of the funds were going to victims of a situation that happened a couple of days ago in my city where 70 homes were on fire due to gas lines exploding. I believe that's what it was. And some houses actually exploded and a lot of people actually lost their homes. So I was just trying to speak to people about TVP there, and I was handing out some of my Massachusetts TVP cards to just get people interested in a society where things like that would not happen or would be less likely to happen. People were pretty receptive to it. So that's about it for me.
Nice. Thank you, Nate. I see there's more notes on there, though. Is this Wendy also?
Yeah, sorry, I was a little late in adding them. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Nate and Evan and I kind of touch base probably at least once a month. And kind of what I've been working on is sort of I'm trying to escape from corporate America so I can spend all of my time helping to kind of create something like the Venus Project happening. And one of the ways that I thought that might be able to work is if I kind of created a business. So I've been kind of planning that over the last, year and a half, 2 years. And it's with my business background, I have a lot of access to sort of event planners and executive assistants, and I'm pretty entrenched in corporate America, and I work for a Google affiliate, so I have a lot of access to Google people, and I know a lot of them are not super happy with how things are in the world. And as I'm kind of like networking with these different people, I always bring the Venus Project into my conversation as part of the inspiration for this project that I'm working on. And I'm still trying to do this as I'm working 45, 50 hours a week in corporate America. So it's probably going to be like a 5-year plan, but it's what I'm hoping to accomplish is sort of a corporate event venue, and have it be kind of like a co-working space, which kind of takes the concept of bringing a resource-based, not necessarily like a mini economy, like a micro economy, into an environment where people can kind of see the value of how that works in real life. And what I'm hoping to accomplish with this is that it'll kind of have a focus on arts, education, and the community. And as corporate America kind of keeps coming under, more and more scrutiny, where there's homeless people living on the street, even like Google engineers in San Francisco are living in tent cities because even with their 6-figure salaries, they can't afford housing. So there's definitely an opportunity to be like, well, what else can we do differently? So I've been telling a lot of people about the Venus Project through these interactions. And one of my friends, he's an engineer, and he goes and builds sustainable wind energy towers, I think, in Alaska and all over the world. And so he actually signed up. I don't know if he actually did, but he told me he signed up for the AEC team. So I'm getting some more people involved through that, but I'm just hoping, it's probably going to be like a 2 to 5 year plan. But I'm hoping that I want to, when the business kind of starts becoming profitable, I want to have a portion of that go to the Venus Project, so that people can say if you spend your money here, that your money is making a difference to do something better in the world. So as I think a lot more people are going to want to have a little bit more, just try to help other people instead of continue supporting corporate bottom line. So that's hopefully that made sense.
That's very interesting. Thank you, Wendy. I must say that over the years, I don't know if you other guys that have been around for a while have noticed this, but over the years, we are getting lots of new ideas in from different things that people are doing. And I find it absolutely fascinating, very stimulating as well. Because even if we're not able to do the same things ourselves, at least it might serve as a trampoline for an idea. Another idea could come from it. Okay, so passing down the list, and we have another new POC who has joined us, who is Freddie from Hungary. Freddie, hello there. Give us your news from Hungary, and welcome to the team.
Hey, thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
That's wonderful. So yeah, it's happy to be in the POC team finally. That was a brilliant moment of my life. And I just started to check up all the history, what happened in Hungary, because we had a team set up in Hungary. We have existing POC as well, but the whole thing was just stuck, and it was paused on about 2 years. Basically, nothing happened. So I have to check everything, the information, what is went on, who is active, who isn't, and I have to catch up the people as well. So it's a progress. It's a progress which takes a bit time, and I have to build basically from scratch because we have no Hungarian materials. Have to start translation progress again. So it's lots of work, but that's always exciting. So yeah, that's the situation actually.
Okay, well, yep, you have a long task ahead of you, but if we can help you at all, remember the new guys. Don't forget to give your photograph to Dean and a text about yourself so that we can put you all over the social media platforms and get the word out that we now have POCs in Israel and Hungary. Next meeting or the following one, we will have the guy from Latvia as well, and 2 more from Israel. and somebody else, I can't remember who now. So, you know, we're growing, and a lot of the teams are going to have to start from scratch. I think that's it from the monthly updates from the POCs. Then we have some topics to cover, which I think we can go through relatively quickly. One of them.
Something from Brazil.
Oh, sorry.
I was late, sorry, but we still have Brazil.
You forgot Brazil.
Oh, I see you. Yeah, you were right at the top, so I hadn't seen that you'd added something on. Go ahead, girl, honey bunny.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I was late. We have probably a new event in December, still to be confirmed, in São Paulo. I'll be attending there if everything gets confirmed. It's an exponential group event. It's a group that started on WhatsApp and now has like over 60 filled up groups in WhatsApp of people discussing things, mostly based on futurism and things about, you know, like the Kurzweil school and stuff like that. And they're going to have a big event in December 1st. So if everything pans out, I'll be joining a roundtable discussion about possible futures, and I'll be talking about TVP, you know, like defending the point of the future regarding resource-based economy. Other than that, not a lot of big new informations. Emails have been checked weekly, and still no communications from there as well.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Glad you could make it in the end.
I'm here.
Okay, so we've got some news from Dean about social media, and the one that's under my name, really Dean could give that out as well. Dean, go ahead, the microphone's yours.
All right, so at the risk of sounding like a nagging parent, just want to go over, or not go over, but mention the social media unification Google Sheet, which there's a link there for it. So the vast majority of teams are meeting the criteria as per the social media document, which there's also a link to that there, so you can check that out. That document was actually introduced to the POCs, I think, in September of 2016. So it's taken us a long time to get up to speed, but we're getting there, and hopefully the pages that are and groups that are lacking can follow suit. As Sue has noted, there will be a new Facebook banner coming in the short future. So if your banner isn't up to date, I wouldn't worry too much about it, because there is a new one coming, but it might be a good idea to go ahead and hit the translations tool and update it, just maybe to get some practice in before that one comes in, if you haven't done it already. And as Sue had mentioned earlier about getting your profile photo and description in for the faces for TVP photo album on the Venus Project Global Facebook page. If you can just send that directly to me, either through Facebook or Skype or my email. I don't have it written down there, but it's deanseg@gmail.com. And then I'll add it to the photo album. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you, Dean. What we'd like to do with the new banner, and what we had hoped to do in previous times that we've updated the banner, is for everybody to update their Facebook with the banner on the same day. Now, as Dean has mentioned, it's taken us a while to get around to organising the guidelines for the social media and what have you. But I think pretty much everybody now knows that we're supposed to be on the same page with this. So if we can manage to get the translations up there, if you're not sure how to use a translation tool, or you're not sure where the link is, do let us know so that we can send it to you. And let's see if we can make it like a sort of a, what's the word? Is it a storm? No, what is it? A thunderbolt, thunderclap, when everybody does something at the same time on Facebook. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let's see if we can do that. So that, say, for example, on the, say a month from now, on the 16th of October, everybody updates their Facebook group and page.
So long as the notice gets out, I'll be able to comply if I see it.
Well, you don't have to translate yours, so that's easy enough. But we will get the image out, obviously, so that you can upload it. And let's see if we make it this time. Does anybody have any questions about that?
Nope, sounds good.
Okay, well then I guess we can wrap it up. We've been 1 hour and 6 minutes. That's not bad. And I've thoroughly enjoyed this session. We've had some very interesting news, some nice ideas shared. And thank you everybody for coming along. I look forward to 2 months' time when I can make it again, because I just cannot make the 2 o'clock in the morning ones for me. Be seeing you around Skype and Facebook and what have you. If you haven't been present on Skype for a while, please do remember that it is important to check in there to see the news, the information, updates, and so on and so forth, so that we're all on the same page with all these bits of information. Remember that there's so many of you now, especially as we get more and more candidates finishing the orientation process. It's just impossible for us to run after everybody individually. So we really do need you guys to stretch yourselves and check out the Facebooks and the Skype chat. Okay, everybody, take care and see you next month.
Okay, bye.